Finish a bit of housekeeping. That was Anubis. Falcons picked it up 2-1. So maybe Snappy's approach on the map working quite well because he was reviewing a complexity versus NaVi demo in that game. And now we get to see the other side of that coin. NaVi taking on Eternal Fire. Oh, and we're already fighting. Quick connector Biff.
Yeah, it's a nasty opening to concede him. I just wanted looking for info. He ends up dying.
This will be their first pistol, EF.
Be a perfect time to find it as well. Alexi B flashed, smoked, trying to contribute, but also backing the hell out of Dodge. They've given them the site and trying to play this 4v5 retake.
They really like playing from B main. We saw this yesterday as well. They like to soak away a lot of that site pressure, play out in the main and fight together.
They're expecting no smoke, so it's a viable strategy with the plant as it is. They've used the flashes just to get in, so redundant. And no time for this.
Chasing Ghost.
Yeah, where are they? They can't even... Look at Calix. I mean, he's holding Dark. Sure, he can arrive there late. It's a beautifully executed pistol. I mean, Alexi was on the defuse. That was Antares just to pluck him off of it. And yeah, no time for this. He can get some kills, sure. But the round is Eternal Fires. And Woxic, he'll take a couple on the exit as well. Thank you very much. So the first pistol, as Chad has highlighted, goes the way for Eternal Fire. Took him a while. We got it on the third, where it matters most.
Yeah, this CT side can be quite brutal, so not getting the pistol round is going to hurt. I wonder, does Alexi B want to call them into a force buy? And also something to note, if they are going to play these setups where they're evacuating out of the site for the post-plan Eternal Fire, if NaVi are going to have smokes left over to be able to clear off that position, or at least deny the vision. There's one flash invested for Bit. Not using it offensively, so they're allowing Eternal Fire to play their hand first. Flash forwards, Antares clears close doors. We'll have company, an awful lot of CTs on the other side. 2 camera, 2 temple.
Ooh, yeah, they landed some bullets onto Antares there.
Info.
Wonderful in Imet. Combine, get a rifle. Avoids the majority of the damage there, considering the absence armor, but JL actually has some. He'll be able to wield that AK-47, now sweeping through to clear Ray, as it seems Madra and Wicardia will call be pretty clear pretty soon.
Well, they're in. The bomb will follow. Woxic punching in the digits. Now to position for now. Now, Wonderful was also able to pick up another flash, so if they can creep up behind this smoke deployed by the Ts, they might want to explode. But again, Eternal Fire playing passive, foregoing a lot of the site control. It's only really Madra to report. Well, Wicardia's just pushed into jail. Flash could be good.
Madra turns it nicely. Perfect find, farming up some frags. Actually, JL using that rifle to great effect. He'll take that. 2 kills, keep the AK and Kev. Financial damage. Respectable.
Yeah, so, you know, this is what Eternal Fire is going to be doing to NaVi in a lot of these second or third rounds. Pressuring their economy an awful lot, and it just makes things awkward. Guns need to be dropped. You don't have all the goodies that you require. Wicardia has enough to buy, so does Madra, but the drops are possible from Woxic and Calix as well, so they won't have those issues. Not going to have to operate with Deagles or Mac-10s. They can get those full purchases through. Eternal Fire like to pressure the A main position with Madra throwing this like smoke a little bit deeper, and then he's going to, well, when I say deeper, from a more passive position, closer towards spawn, and be able to push in and exploit that. So we'll see how the likes of Bit, the Anchor, is to deal with it. But I feel a lot of this is the CTs either having good reads or good gambles to be in the 3-2 split. There's aggression available, just like this. Bit having a look to see if anyone's defaulting up close and personal. That's not the case. The smoke that's just landed behind Bit is what we were just discussing. So they'll exchange utility over towards A main.
Yeah, I mean, combined with that flash, Bit's going to be apprehensive of moving forward again. So kind of flying blind on that side of the map. As you can see, they are starting to regroup.
The key is the AWP Wonderful here.
Opts for this angle on the obelisk. As Alexi calls for aid. What's going on? A flurry of frags back and forth. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 thanks to the IMF FAMAS farming. Gets a triple onto Madra as Calix punching in the codes. Antares hunting for Imet. could very well be determined by Xantares. Calyx has got himself the AK-47. He's a sharp shooter as Calyx misses his opening tap, and just like that, NaVi put themselves on the board early. A quad kill out of IME.
Yeah, hugely impactful round from IME. You have to think on Mirage, he was definitely finding his form, so the confidence from one orange map to the next is going to be important here for the Romanian. That is huge work because his teammates were in transition. They were trying to reposition as this pop comes through. So catching them at the minute mark, but IME delivers, trying to get his hands on that. Galil gets around the corner, picks it back up, and sits Xantares on his ass. First round now for NaVi. And this is where the pressure really will start to mount. So if Xantares can't keep it cool, and we are going to have to talk about the mental of Eternal Fire in a game like this, it could just start to crumble. They're on the T side. This is where they're hoping to get the lion's share of rounds on the map, and they have been able to buy back in with something quite threatening. 2 AKs, Tech-9s, Deagle, and over towards B again, so they want to continue to try and punish this side with another pop.
Oh, that flash forces out a reaction from Xantares, so presence noted.
No rotation, however.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on this side of the map, and IME, he tries his hand at a duel. Have they seen enough?
Yeah, they weren't knocking. They got what they were looking for. Burning more smokes from the CTs, and as you take a look on the radar, you can see 4, well, 3, 1 just faded.
Wow, they've got everything they need. Still 3 smokes, what an advantage. Make it 2, Calyx has thrown one out of his own design.
Should be the deep, dark smoke. Wonderful floating. See, Alexi's called the gamble elsewhere. He said, no, it's all right, boys. Let's gamble A. We think it's going to be A or middle. And this is the thing with the CT side. You either push or gamble stack. And Alexi, you have to get a lot.
Oh, he's in so much trouble. The smoke may be a little bit of a savior, really. He can incendiary the default. Yeah, he's not ready for that. Woxic does sweep through.
How's he not ready for that?
Yeah, that is abysmal for Alexi.
The whole site was forgone. Alexi right now 0 and 4. And this is it. This is where your instinct as an in-game leader, you know, calling the bluff, thinking the tendencies that you've looked at. How do they rotate around when they are denied space? And this time, if they did think it was going to reroute them towards middle or A, that's the wrong call. Overwhelmed, nothing done, hardly even any damage at all.
Especially considering it was only those 2 AK-47s boasted, prioritizing the utility that works out for the fakery. Oh, if you lose your AWP here, Wonderful would be very, very upset if a wide swinging Madja showed up. Does it look like he's... Wonderful just looked away. Madja's not moving an inch, and yeah, what could have been. But Eternal Fire have got to be happy with that.
Yeah, they get the round, and they even managed to scoop up Alexi's M4. So picking everything they could out of that round, considering the way it unfolded. So back in immediately, and Alexi just standing looking like a bit of a tip behind the smoke. He wanted to drop that molly to deny as the bomb's going down. Yeah, that one's a bit of a brain fade. So Eternal Fire now have a very juicy looking buy. Well, let's get into the full gunnies. WP on both sides of the server. 3-player B start as IME again goes down towards connector. Alexi behind the pillar and Wonderful on the plat. As Xantares, he could really just creep through middle at whatever luxury he chooses. The molly lands. It's not going to burn deep enough. His feet aren't on fire, so retaining this little window position, he can slink forward. JL will know this is possible regardless. Doesn't really change the timing too much, but the A defender's a bit, and JL really feeling a little bit of pressure, especially with that temple smoke landing. Very deep as well. That one, make sure there's no hijinks around the mid push from the CTs, and look at this, leering forward.
He's across.
I'm not sure JL saw him.
Nope. There's a real opportunity now. Oh, especially with Woxic landing that tag just through the corner. JL lucky to be alive. He's still got all his util. You'd think he's going to start, yeah, dumping it. Incendiary lands.
But now Wonderful's out of position. He's just had to go beach heaven to assist. Bogdan's Law and Wakadia through the smoke. B extremely susceptible. Back and forth they go, ping-ponging across the map. Eternal Fire are toying with them.
Alexi B, he's having a nightmare start to this Anubis. Elimination match. You don't want to be starting the third map like that. Oh, barrel. Spotted. Calyx prepared. Fit. Aware. Adjusts. And makes it a 4 versus 4. Only for a moment. IME extends their advantage. The CTs are holding on despite the loss of Alexi B through that smoke. Regrouping. You can see Madja bringing the bomb this way.
It's pushing again. They know it has to be
15
B.
seconds, Chad. What are they supposed to do? Oh, man, that's a gift. IME, he doesn't hit his shot. They are across, and they're punching in the code in time. Wonderful has caught Wakadia. And it's a hard fight for Madja. He is going to get run down. Wonderful Making it work from the Ivy position, closing in on the AWP now, and a missed shot makes it very difficult for Woxic. Yeah, gonna get sprayed on down. NaVi return the favor.
They had so much space. I think what's happening there, Alex, right, is they get the space, they get the kills, and then in the moment when Madge's calling the finish to the round, that's when those pushes came in. Even with the barrel that Calyx spotted, he gets the better of him. Now he's locked into this fight, whips the first few bullets, that anticipation, then Emma swings out. So just as they're starting to pull the round together and what they want the finish to be, NaVi strike, and very fortunately so. Because that was looking like a round where Eternal Fire, if they just grouped up and closed out the round, they could have done it together.
Oof. Watch out though, Tech9s are in the mix once again.
Always so scary with Eternal Fire.
Yeah, and Woxic's got himself 6 frags already, so he's definitely not slowing down into this third map.
Those warning shots enough for JL to respect.
It's a dangerous game mid.
Isn't it? You don't want to give it up for free. You want to harass a little bit.
Yeah, show presence, but don't get spammed, naded, or double molly exect on.
While trying to hold onto your util for as long as you can.
Yeah, really, like this flash, what do you do if you're JL? You're going to know you either have to back away or just hold this angle and call for help.
Feels committed, but Bits here for oversight from camera.
Ooh, that could be a well-placed HE. Oh, look at the chip damage, and it does destabilize the push. Could have done more with that. JL does go down, but his Bit goes wide. Ready for another engagement. Bit takes 2. It's a numbers game. And finding that double kill makes all the difference. Calyx is across. Now they have the bomb, so no real potency to this immediately. He's got 44 seconds just maneuvering through that A site, looking to go round the world. Gonna lose him perhaps, but Wonderful's already considering the potential.
I was so focused on the mid fight there. Did they extend out B main during all of that? Did Emma push for info? Because the rotation towards middle was there so quickly, it felt like clamping down together to deny the space for EF. Yeah,
no, I was hyper-focused on mid too. But you're right, it did feel like, I mean, maybe JL was just asking for it, but you wouldn't be doing double rotations. You had Bit and Wonderful there almost instantaneously. Yeah, spotted out now, no fun for Calyx. 3-3. Yeah, and Alexi's going to be very happy with that, well handled.
Well, right now, EF probably going to try one of these little B explodes, I would imagine. Right? Get out those Tech9s and they whip into the site very quickly. We've seen them work into great success previously. And that nade, yeah, you mentioned, did a lot of damage, so softening them up, making it much more susceptible. And yeah, it's not just that. Alexi's there as well. So there must have been some form of aggression to facilitate that heavy rotation. And wow, it's going to be a full eco from Eternal Fire. How many times have we said that?
Sort of dialogue, like Madge's not looking at his screen, he's looking at a teammate.
Maybe we can get a camera on them as they might just be talking through the next round. Loss bonus will be coming through at 2,400. So NaVi destined for 4. As Calyx softened up extremely by a HE through the windows. Well placed. But this is a gimme right now for NaVi.
Yeah, normally, you know, all it takes is maybe one Tech9 and a bit of Kevlar, and we would be getting a whole lot more excited. But this one, there's only really one objective, one goal, and that's to kind of screw your heads on tight for this must-win map. It's T-side Anubis as well, right? So the fact that NaVi in the gun rounds do seem to be having the edge.
Yeah, and I imagine that's why we're seeing Eternal Fire look a little bit more stressed as well. And keeping the conversation going. Hopefully this is not an argument, but
it's a discussion. Good. Our observers are doing great. We're actually getting to go back and forth between the two people.
Okay. Now, what does Antares have to say in reply?
Good. Well, JL gets himself a double. Now that M4. Oh, I was going to say it's retrievable. Emma gives it a good go on the wallbang. Antares does get his grubby mitts on it.
Here they come. Should be all Bits right now. Don't expect too much more. Dink, not bad. Wakardia will get a chance, but Wonderful will take him down before he can line him up. And that round that we said was a gimme definitely is. So that conversation, that lengthy, that locking eyes chat between the likes of Xantares and Madge, the in-game leader and one of his star riflers, where does that leave them?
It's always an interesting line, you know, and I think it's drawn in depending on the individuals, but what conversations are left for after the game, which ones have to happen in that game. See if this is situated EF well for the rifle round. Bomb left B side.
Gonna be an aim push. Bit has a bit of support, so Wonderful can post up on the line. That nade to stairs might make you think that is the A player, and you're not ready for the play.
Chef's kiss, little combo. The 1-2 punch.
All right, then they've parked the AWP, so Wonderful's just gonna stay. Bit noisy on his escape. Jail still tending with middle. Bit will be able to rotate over to help out Alexi and Imma, and because of just how strung out Eternal Fire are, they're not packed up, they can't explode. They're going to be left taking these fights one by one.
Oh, Bacardi's going to have to move. He has to, forced in by the flames. Look at the damage down. A single bullet will finish him off. And in the meantime, Imma gets greedy. He did want to find a second. He knows where Calix is, and Calix is a man to be feared.
It might not be expected. He was a main, remember?
That's true. He got the opening, and so the element of surprise from that glyph position. Woxic just trying to punch in the code in this 1 versus 3. Bit delaying. That smoke allows Woxic to move, but covered Woxic. He gave it a good go. Wonderful closes it down, and NaVi, they weather the storm once more.
All right, well, now we should see a half-buy from Eternal Fire, right? With the loss bonus, 2,900 coming into the bank, you have the bomb going down as well. It puts them in the position where they could go for AKs or Galils, but they're going to have a timeout to discuss exactly that option. And that push, right? So you're getting the HEs coming through the window. Your T-Stairs player, he's a bit rumbled. He has to move off of the line as that nade comes his way, steps back out, and Bit, sharp as you like, removes him. Nice little combo there from NaVi, making sure they're staying proactive, and smiles on the face of Alexi. We don't see this every day of the week. The mood sour on Nuke, but starting to sweeten. They're ever closer to staying alive in this lower bracket of Group A. And now we know who waits. Their competition will be Falcons.
Got some fun trivia for you, Chad. I know you're looking at mouse weights a lot. Woxic's mouse is incredibly heavy. It's 92 grams. Isn't that in terms of the numbers I hear you talking about, like
days,
45, 50,
pretty heavy.
Like
yeah, a lot of people are on the super light, right? So yeah, that is
one of the heavier mice in the professional player's handbook.
Maybe that's why sensitivity is out of control. Let's see how far out of control this gets. Eternal Fire have opted to buy, but they're lighter on in the util department. You can see it's mainly the rifles they're opting for. So I'm expecting a slower pace. Allow this CT protocol utility to be limped out, spent through, and then see if the likes of Wakadia and Zentaris can find your opening picks. But speaking of it, Imma staying active. Flashed out B main. Sponsor one. Flash back. So this rally of util to try and control B long is definitely underway. But for Eternal Fire, they can't use too many more flashes in that fashion. They've only got 2 remaining and 2 smokes. But grouping outside B. If they are to pop and think this is a weakness, there's 3 players. Can NaVi withstand the hit?
Yeah, and this was from spawn, like they started here. Throwing out the util. Wonderful's AWP moving forward, magnetizing into the fight. Trying to catch them ahead of the play. Oh, and he does. Catches Wakadia on the crouch. Trying to isolate the duel. Woxic with the pre-fire clears out the AWP. It's Imma dead next at Woxic's hand. A double entry frag from Woxic. He is not giving up without a fight. And this retake uncomfortable now for NaVi. Good spam, brings Woxic low. A single bullet could do it.
They're all playing outside main again. This could get awkward with 2 Molotovs available. But NaVi are going to be so worried about site positions too. As they come in through connected, they can clear out pillar and turn their attention.
Yeah, at this point, Alexi's going to piece it together. It's too quiet. It's suspiciously quiet. Now the mollies are going to be thrown out. Woxic, that low HP, we discussed it. He's burning. He's gone down. Calix stands only for the one. It's up to Madja to deliver. He has to knock him off the bomb. Alexi, goes down. It's looking good. A messy spray, but is there time? It's too close. It's too close. Uncomfortable. It works for Eternal Fire. They continue to make it work with this avant-garde post-plant strategy.
Yeah, so again, I think it's just because at that point you know that the CTs are so unlikely to have any smokes remaining. The molly, it was great. It flushed out one, but Madja, even though he doesn't connect the dots on the final frag, he had done enough. Got them off the defuse, but that has to be on Woxic. This is a huge double. You can see him pivoting here between Jail and the dark position, and that smoke that's becoming a bit more meta now that people are throwing on the right side, obscuring a lot more of the vision. They've worked out a way that they can throw it where it can't be one-wayed over.
Wow, I'm amazed that they managed to recover that. You can see Alexi was just doubting. There's no way they're all there.
But look at the buy. Even though they won the round, they got Mac 10s, and look at Imma staying proactive. A nuke on JL's toes. Emma finds a fight, but might want to get out. So much damage done to NaVi in the early stages of this one.
Yeah, walking wonky. Emma and JL barely hanging on as mid is taken. They surge towards that position. Smoke's already landing towards Temple. What's the reaction? What's the go? They are moving rapidly into Bit's domain. It's been completely caught off. Okay.
Save?
Bizarre.
How are you meant to get back into this with two players with a combined HP of 49? Emma and JL, there's no way they can voice any concerns. And that happened so quick. I said they were coming, they were there.
Yeah, what do you think it was just a case of a miscommunication in the sense that maybe JL didn't emphasize enough? Like, they could have mid. Maybe it was more of an offhand, I'm rotating off mid, no info mid. I don't know, because Bit was so surprised to see so many.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. That has to be a miscom, right? For him not to be aware of that. Or maybe it was communicated, but you know, sometimes you have to take a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, you're not expecting them to just not stop. They did not.
I think the fact that it happens in the fashion it did and they get to hold on to 4 rifles is quite key. So there will be a drop from Wonderful made available. So they should have more than enough of the finances, NaVi, to have out a full buy. And we have 2 rounds remaining within this first half. And the timeout has just been called, I believe, from Eternal Fire. I thought I saw the T symbol. There it is.
Eternal Fire. Significant success in terms of getting into these bomb sites. The amount of rounds, every single round they've won is by the detonation. And even 3 retakes successful from NaVi, so they're getting into the sites.
It is interesting the coach is taking this because it feels like things are going quite well in the last batch. It's now 2 in a row. You know, Madger, if he's feeling his streak, feeling his stride, but definitely a conference to be had and a nod from Madger. So whatever the coach has steadied them with, we'll see if they can run with it and grab 7 before we head into the halftime break.
Yeah, Madger stuck with that Mac 10. See if he can generate any space. Wakadia, the impact player of the round. Haven't said too much of his name, actually. Just 3 frags in this must-win map. And on the T side, where we typically see him do some of his best work. Zentares, the same. Kept humble.
The Orcs starting A, and they've actually opted to boost on Fountain to see if anyone's going to take that space. And the thing is, nobody is. So if they both just hang around lingering, and while that flash from Madger now just being in towards main, they're well aware that the control hasn't been taken just yet. Oh, it's drawn again. So this is just Emma on the side. Alexi's just on deep temple to help clear out middle. Alongside of JL, he'll be poking in from camera bits here as well. So they want to get some information, but it might be too little too late. As they clear middle, the fight is heading towards B.
Yeah, and what's Emma supposed to do with this?
At least it's retake.
Yeah, a 5v5 retake at this stage. I say that, Alexi B. He's been spotted out on Temple.
He's having one of those games, 7 assists.
Well, we all know how that feels. Certainly not what you want in your 3rd map of an elimination match in Katowice. JL on the flank, he was being held, but he's just confirmed 3 bodies outside main. Still no smoke, but Bit's got ahead. Takes down Madger. Calix is coming to try and nullify him. Now that's a dink exchange. The Galil just body shots him down. Oh, and Zentares was full blind on that, just controls his spray masterfully. They're actually defusing! Alexi B! All the frags are distraction. That's unbelievable.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, what? That's exactly what Eternal Fire are going to do.
How has that happened?
That's an oversight. That's unbelievable. Maybe he started it as if they were flashed. They didn't hear it. Bodyguarded. Spray transfer. What?
He's just pulled off daylight robbery.
That is.
How on earth has he gotten away with that? Well, we've been talking about the way they like to pay these post plans. They're meant to all be able to swing and take the fights. It felt like Bit threw his life away for nothing. Emma bodyguarded 1. There was a flash in play. That's 6 for NaVi.
Yeah, no, I mean, you said it. Daylight robbery. That's thievery from Alexi B. And his defuse kit. Who needs kills when you can win rounds with a defuse? And now it's Emma making moves. cuts down Majo with an aggressive maneuver.
I love that combo. You notice how it only disperses that left-hand side of the smoke so he can go for that type of a swing. He was using it yesterday as well.
Really cheeky. Oh, and these last two combination rounds, that's amazing from Wicardia. Was that full 30 bullets before he started to find Alexi?
Alexi may only have 1 kill for the half, but the fact that he stole away 6 to at least guarantee that for NaVi is huge.
And these flanks from JL, you know, we just saw it in the previous, but it seems like he's kind of been reinvigorated. He's kind of sussed it out, solved what's needed from him from mid. Keep the pressure onto these B commitments like this. Oh, nearly missed out on Watzik. And Calyx from the dark position has lost all of his teammates. Imet dancing around the site to convert NaVi. They lead with 7. A 2-round discrepancy. One of these teams going home at the end of our next half. We're back in business, and Alexi B, one half of Counter-Strike with 1 kill, but 1 defuse that could shatter the hopes and dreams of a Turkish team in the Spodek. You can see what it's done. The camaraderie, the mojo, it flows in one direction right now. NaVi, they are in it to win it. A game for survival, and then 1 game away from the playoffs of Katowice 2024. This is the Intel Extreme Masters. Anything can happen. And right now, Eternal Fire need a pistol. They need a conversion. Doubted by the bookies, and it's up to them. Wonderful working on a P250 and a whole lot of util. Look at all this on the floor. A molly for good measure.
You'd feel 7 rounds on the CT side should be more than enough for NaVi to be able to close things down. This is a map where they traditionally feel quite comfortable on, and that streak broken yesterday. Now 5 on the trot. Well, there's a little blip on the radar now. Looks like a more confident team today.
Okay, interesting camera molly and a quick headshot to Wox. You're not re-peeking that. So Heaven's clear. You're up. Bit's already onto the side with JL as well. Now you layer on a smoke. And it's Ime that strikes. And Tara's just as he averts his gaze towards the fight. JL keeping Heaven on lock. They got 3, make it 4 players fighting for Heaven. It's just a drive-by. It's destructive and helpless, our Eternal Fire.
Now, they won the pistol in the first half, their first pistol of the series. It's going to be 5 in favor of NaVi across the 3 maps as Katowice will be felled by Bit, and that is beautiful stuff. All 5 staying alive, not a single point of damage done. That armor going to be upgraded with ease into head armor. Ooh. You get the AKs out, you don't need to worry about too many MAC-10s, and this is a beautiful lurk from Ime. Just coming through mid as the opening incision. They're already in the site, so things just get worse. And that's great. That tells me that type of round communication is flowing. They swing Heaven together, the 2 of them. They're taking the fights. The execute works perfectly. And Eternal Fire, traditionally fantastic with these second round force buys, are opting for a full eco. This game has gotten away from them. They played good Counter-Strike.
They did. They really have. I mean, look at this second round buy for NaVi. They've nearly got full nades and full AK.
Yeah.
Brutal.
That's why, you know, it's the little things, not having to invest into head armor if they're just going to lock things down as they push out main. Bit falls, sure. He should be the only one. Alexi, get over here. We got a rifle. Hold up.
Oh, Katowice. He did some significant damage.
Bloody hell.
Thankfully, Wonderful was there. I mean,
I wonder how he even got his hands on it. He's quickly made the move while Wonderful was covering that off. So a little bit of damage considering the full eco.
Yeah, not too shabby.
We might be seeing the swan song of Eternal Fire quickly if they can't get this first gun round under their belt.
Which is where Alexi B starts licking his lips, right? You've got to be excited as an IGL knowing that if you make this right call, if your team plays it right, you are on your way to that final best of 3 required. Smoke lands dark, default spread. Not necessarily entirely default. JL working dark and Wonderful right behind him.
We saw from that little snippet with Snappy talking about NaVi T-Sub in this map that they want to fight for that main control. So exchanging utility across the map. Pressure to Zentaras will have to respect it.
Nice work from Alexi. He's proactively pushing. And oh, he hears a rotation off. He heard Zentara stampeding through the temple position. Maybe a timing available for him for a pincer into the A defense. Woxic and Macardi have done this before. We've seen them defend Anubis 2 versus 5.
Yeah, but didn't Woxic have an AWP when he did that?
That's right. Just the rifle this time. And he's got nades in his hands. Throws out. Alexi, be aware. Starts to unload his magazine. Pressure from every front, every angle. They're left with just the 1. And this already bleak for Eternal Fire.
Beautiful in the lurk again from Ime, catching Zentaras. And this round is done and dusted. Just Magi. And look where he is. T-Spawn. The wrong side of the map. May as well just be holding on to this one. 10. The double digits for NaVi. And it was beautiful. As soon as Alexi comes through, he's already brought the attention. It means they can't both be focused over towards that A push. The flashes come in. They separate the defense. They have the mid lurk. Picture perfect from NaVi. Looking right at home here on Anubis.
Like, yeah, you watch that one back, you try and find counterplay, and it was just, there's nothing for you there. Those 2 players stood no chance. There was no opportunity. That's just team Counter-Strike from NaVi. And exploiting that little bit of a sound cue, you know, knowing that the mid player had kind of rotated off, you could assume, unless there was some funny business afoot, that you had a bit of a room to maneuver for Alexi. The smallest things in Counter-Strike can have the biggest ramifications. You know, like a defuse.
Yeah, and that one, I still can't believe that happened. I have to check it back because I didn't even have any focus on it. There's no way. How are they going to be able to defuse the bomb with so many bodies for Eternal Fire outside ready to turn that into a shooting gallery?
Oh,
and just as we were heading into halftime when the cameras were on them, they were face palming. They were done, they were dusted, and now they look like they are more than on the ropes. Eternal Fire falling apart at the absolute worst time.
But a round like this, You win a round that you have no right to. That can be somewhat of a remotivation. They have lost Antares. He's forced to watch now as his teammates try and defend this site. There's multiple bodies there. Calyx run down by JL.
Confidence now just surging through the veins of NaVi, having to push Flames into fights and taking them all. It was the strongest weapon, the save rifle of Magic, that was gambled over towards A. The lighter upgrade stacked B, out of position once more, and again, becoming extremely familiar with the spawn of the opposition.
Gosh, yeah, Magic's having no fun these last 2 rounds, just not feeling like he can contribute. There's nothing more frustrating.
And again, Alexi still only has 1 kill, Alex. Just 1 kill.
There's going to be a story written about this. The tale of 1 kill and 1 defuse by Alexi B. And you know what he just did? He did just, first you go A, then you go B. What happens next?
We're all waiting to find out.
Yeah, it does feel like they've just lost their grip again. This third map, you know, they're reliving the potential of these 2 zeros they've had in front of them. Close games, you can see the recap there. NaVi were in full control of map 2, though.
Yeah, and in full control of map 3, so the momentum shift once we made it to Mirage.
A little bit of a later stack made towards B main. Woxic, does he have an AWP? He does. He's gotten away with the first. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, they respect the smoke. So darting back immediately, have drawn that out. Boosting up and over mid. Might be able to catch Zantares looking, and they have done. They had the number advantage, but Zantares still looking for a fight. He finds one that's not favorable.
Oh, that's going to be another horrible one for Zantares to stomach. As the advantage squandered, and Calyx goes trying to make a play. Not blind was Imet, still controls the spray. He could have another one here. Tagged up Madja, just spamming smokes. Madja's going to walk on this. No flash, but he's not ready. Imet not expecting this re-aggression. Wonderful at least trade, so that's still a 3v2. Alexi flanking Wicardia.
He's screwed.
Yeah, in the corner. It's going to be cleared. Is this Alexi B's second frag? Maybe not. Dinked up. They're pushing him. Wicardia is in so much trouble. And Alexi B will be kept on 1. The round, however, goes NaVi's way. Woxic thrown into a 1v2. What can you do? What can you do? 2 bullets, 2 opponents, and a 10-second defuse ahead of him. It seems certain that a 12th is imminent. JL on jail, though. Oh, and it's held. Nails the shot, and a single round now for NaVi to knock out Eternal Fire.
Full control for NaVi. They found themselves right when they needed to. Yesterday, the win against Apex, they got it done with individuals misfiring, but now those individuals are performing at quite the pace. Wonderful with 19. Imma has been activated. He's got himself 15 kills, impactful ones, 19 kills for JL, Bit on 14. And that share has been made available as we look at the bleak realization that things are done for Eternal Fire here at IEM Katowice.
Yeah, taking down Falcons to start off this group stage. Phase too much.
But only too much. It was overtime in the first 2 maps.
That's the 2-0 they were probably going to be thinking about.
And that was for the Spodek.
Yeah.
That was to be on the stage. That was to be playing in front of thousands of fans. And now they're just 1 round away from packing their bag, getting on that plane, and going home with their frustrations that what could have been.
Yeah, and just the muck they're in right now, mentally. All of that rattling around your skull at the same time as you're trying to play Counter-Strike. It's not possible, it's not feasible. Pressure applied to the A side of the map once again as Wicardia goes trying to swing through. The frags are coming, and it seems certain that NaVi will have 1 more best of 3 between them and this lower bracket run to the Spodek. The Falcons are waiting in the wings.
Oh, and now Falcons started to take flight, taking down Complexity. Another lengthy series, but more practice for this newly formed roster as it's just 2 more kills for NaVi.
Mancha's hitting some shots. So is Alexi as his 3rd frag is secured. And it's NaVi. They will meet Falcons for the spot, the last spot that Group A provides to the Spodek. A lower bracket run. First Apex, then Eternal Fire, And now Falcons stand between them and the glory of a playoff spot at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice.
They just have nothing to their name. Nothing to their name in this second half of play. It's just a clean sweep now.